Hey YouTube, the world has a new rank 1. It's A Zapatos, and I believe this is his first time getting rank 1 in the world, so we're going to check out a couple replays of his path to rank 1, including this first game against ApparentlyJack. First game, we have ApparentlyJack against Zapatos on the road to rank 1, which you will often see top 10 players like ApparentlyJack in wins on the way there, because you need to get significant points, and it's hard to get significant points against anybody except for those amongst you in the top 10. So Zapatos seems to be hard on his grind, and he proved that by getting rank 1, but he said that he'd be on the grind ever since he had a tough finish to the salt mine. He felt like he could have done a bit better, and he has prepped, I think it's about a week away from that promotion relegation, maybe 2 weeks. But Zapatos is trying to make sure he is right back in the salt mine. He's looking speedy right now. A couple different times he has dashed and got up before ApparentlyJack could make a play. ApparentlyJack has been looking solid in his own right. I think he's a guy who going into, oh, nice bump. Going into the next salt mine is going to want to bounce back a little bit, because ApparentlyJack's the kind of guy that people have chalked in as winning the event. So the fact that he was not able to make it into the playoffs was something that I'm assuming he was very disappointed about. Jack flicking up to the back wall. Interesting clear attempt. Zapatos going with that pinch as opposed to, maybe that backboard double that usually people try and take. This is really good defense from Zapatos. Just immaculate. And he's going to launch a full field shot, and man, he deserved it. That was a good attack from ApparentlyJack. And not a single option got close as he kept them all out. Has himself a 2-0 lead. He's forced back into his net right away, but Jack got super greedy, and that'll be a bucket for Zapatos. Zapatos, for a second, didn't even think about grabbing that boost, as he knew that Jack had left his net open. Not the best wave dash kickoff for Zapatos. Usually the kickoff he likes to do, that wave dash, is actually pretty good at preventing that, but this time around it plays right into Jack's hands. Jack bumping Zapatos back towards the net. Is that gonna be a save? Oh my goodness. If that was gonna also be a save, we were truly gonna have to consider this one of the best defensive stands of all time, but no. Zapatos, look at the speed. This is insane. I'm going to watch this one again. I know this is a weird one to watch again, but I'm just like in awe of how fast Zapatos is moving here. His opponent, ApparentlyJack, is no joke. He's just into the wave dash so quickly. That power slide turn into setup, though, that like everything about that is so speedy. He is just in the zone right now, and that's a really good sign for Zapatos in terms of top players in ones are in the game. They always seem to have, an extra gear. Of course, it's not possible for a car to move any faster than another, but man, it may seem like that Sentio can, the way he's moving. Nice soft first touch. One thing that I really do want to see Zapatos do more of as he gets this air dribble bump is he has a solid aerial game. You've seen him use it before. If you watch Turf Wars, he had a specifically nasty clip in that tournament. But I think, these zap dashes, dude. This time it didn't work out. Jack is back to make the save. But I do think that's an important part. This barrage is just unstoppable right now. Right now he's just doing it pure force of will and speed, making Jack play defense every second of the game. But like I said, aerial game. I think that is maybe one of the last steps in terms of watching his games in Salt Mine and watching some of his games recently. I think he hasn't been using the aerial game. We see Jack kind of trying to pre-jump the aerial game. So to be fair, this time it's totally right. Zapatos, shouldn't go for the aerial game. He should punish Jack for trying to stop him. Jack falling from the ceiling. This kind of play right here, this wall to air dribble kind of play where you're threatening everything and you finish off with a nice wave dash finish. I think it's the kind of thing that Zapatos seems to almost try and avoid, and not for not for Not without good reason. There we go. I found it. Not without good reason because, you know, an example is that cut he had earlier. He's just so fast on the ground, so fast in the midfield that he can create scoring opportunities that way. So there might be times that he declines an opportunity to rise up in the air, but he still gets his goal. He's going to back off the midfield this time. Jack waiting a long time for that flick. Zapatos is able to intercept him. Now Zapatos undercut, and it'll be a goal. So 8-4. A minute 41 left. Zapatos starting to get a little bit of cushion. Now a wave dash kickoff has Jack back in the corner. He thought maybe he could sneak around just behind Jack, who was facing infield. He could get that bounce off the back corner and then towards the midfield. He might have had something to work with, but Jack reverses, able to intercept, and then aerial attack the other way. So Jack showing the aerial game is certainly his in this ranked game. This one was played 2 days ago, and then the next one we're going to watch was played yesterday. Both of them close to within 24 hours, though. I'm just recording this the morning of Zapatos getting rank 1 last night. And Zapatos being quite passive. I mean, maybe with a minute left to go, it's especially, you know, the reason why. Maybe normally he'd be a bit more aggressive. In the game, he need to stop the scoring, but it seems like he's just trying to test ApparentlyJack, force him to prove he has it, and maybe waste a bit more time than if he were to dive and just leave some open nets available. Ooh, this was a dive, but on the ground. Jack maybe didn't really have the boost to make it happen. He saw that wave dash on the wall to get the strong touch. Gave it speed, which is what he needed. He needed the speed, but the bounce off the corner was a bit too long. Zapatos actually has this save, and no follow-up from Jack. The zero boost flicks from the Sentio are definitely one of the advantages. You could have no momentum. I should say zero boost and zero momentum. That Sentio can just launch the ball sometimes. So you can clear it in defense maybe a bit easier than a Fennec could. But I'll tell you what, Zapatos playing fairly defensively here. Oh, he gets delayed kickoff. Jack honestly should probably be doing that more often. Zapatos' default of the single jump wave dash is very well countered by a delay, but Zapatos going right back to it. This time I actually think he reversed a little bit so as to not fly into the ball as hard if Jack faked again. At least that's seemed like something that I noticed, but maybe not. We're at 0 seconds now. Jack is going to try and keep the ball up. Zapatos had that head to the back wall. It would have been a goal, but Jack was playing that calculated. He knew he could take that risk, that there's almost no way Zapatos got it there while keeping it in the air. So it's overtime. Oh, Jack just dove. He just dove on the ball. Zapatos, he was there so early, and he wasn't even necessarily expecting to score off this. He's just single jumping to protect the ball and punish Jack for diving. And maybe he wins the 50, maybe it goes in, but it even had blue trail. So I guess that rolled off the back of Jack's car. So there is one of the games, and we're going to go look at the final game, the one that got Zapatos ranked 1, coming up next. Second game of the replay, it's against Wavy. Zapatos against Wavy, and Wavy, you know, he is kind of like the guy holding it down in ranks for North America. If you're queuing up, you're finding a Wavy game here or there. And he has really upped his game. Talk about a guy who had maybe similar aspirations to Zapatos in the salt mine. But Wavy making it all the way to that top 4. Zapatos finishing last in this group. Couldn't find some wins. Zapatos trying to rewrite the script for the next stage. And he has got himself a tie game against Wavy. We saw Wavy match him on his wave dash a couple times, and he'll do so again. Wavy trying to head back to the corner. He actually got a demo on Zapatos. I was going to switch to Zapatos' perspective because it seemed like he was about to steal boost and make a play. But Wavy says no and takes to an air dribble. Wave dash, pop the ball. Zapatos, nice speed. There is no doubt that speed on the ground, speed on the counterattacks, speed in the midfield is Zapatos' strength as well as this wave dash kickoff. But to be fair, oh, that just felt like it could be a goal. I mean, I guess Wavy was going to try and bump Zapatos, and he got his goal either way. So he's the pro player, not me. Maybe playing a little bit more safe. He probably knew Wavy was going to dive and try and bump him like that and not make a play on the ball. So he would know he had a second chance to swing back around it. He's going to intercept Wavy here. He has great reads on when he can take the ball as well. Maybe just a couple quick touches in the air. Could not afford to bring the ball down. Didn't do it. Just held on to that boost and kept it out of Zapatos' reach. See him matching the wave dash kickoff. I was about to say, one of the the biggest strengths that Zapatos has against many 1v1ers is his kickoff if nobody adjusts to it. If you just ram your head into his kickoff, you'll just lose the game. Purely off that. But players who are willing to mix it up and not just ram their head into it usually are able to find some success. And it's players who usually standard into it a million times that have trouble. Wavy has been just matching him in a wave dash kickoff, which isn't bad. I think he'll still overall probably end up losing to Zapatos in that category, so it's probably worth trying some other stuff as well, but still not as bad as I've seen lots of other players do. Zapatos flying back to the play to get a favorable 50. Oh, that's a good setup. Here's some aerial play from Zapatos. This is what I want to see improved slightly. You see that first touch reset, flipping back to the ball. He's basically just tapping it down to that bottom right corner. It's not a very threatening shot. And it's just the kind of shots that watching the other top players in ones right now, they're all creating really threatening takes. Even from, maybe not the best of setups like Zapatos just had. It is going to be a full field counterattack again through the air from Wavy, but mostly just a fight over that back corner boost. Wavy won it, and so Wavy got himself a goal. Halfway through, find himself down. This is a standard kickoff to Zapatos. Wave dash, wow, great save into the crossbar and out. Zapatos had a ton of coverage on the vast majority of saves. He wasn't able to follow that one up. Little reverse to grab the boost, and just going to tap the ball high to force Wavy up again. He's going to try and demo him here, and he's going to succeed. Not so much try as guaranteed with the fact that Wavy was landing back down, low boost. Zapatos was going to have a dash and boost on his side. So he had a really good read on the fact that he had a demo there. Zapatos, one last touch to at least force Wavy back into the blue half, but it's going to be a Wavy possession. Zapatos recognizing that that first touch wasn't clean. There's a world in which I think Wavy collects that dribble enough to protect the ball, but Zapatos, who closed the distance, was making the read to see if Wavy's first touch was good, if it was bad enough, and he's going to dive. And actually, he tried to do the same thing again here because Wavy got such a strong first touch. The ball falling so far away, Zapatos thought, I could just take it away. But credit to Wavy for getting back up and making what is a pretty tough play to cover the ball there when there was that much separation. Minute 30, Zapatos stuck in the back corner of Wavy without boost. He's going to try and dash his way back, and it's not going to be enough. So 5-5. Keep in mind throughout this whole game, this is maybe just another ranked game for Wavy, who is probably somewhere around the top 10 or 20. I haven't really checked. But Zapatos is playing this knowing that this is probably his rank 1 game. So a little bit more nerves, one-sided nerves on this game probably. Zapatos able to score 6 after dodging a demo on his back wall. Popping this one to himself. Waiting to see if Wavy's going to really reverse all the way to net. Not often you see that in a high-level game like this one. Wavy just holding reverse for 4 straight seconds as he backed it all the way up into the net. Now he's down 1. He wanted a touch on that corner, and he didn't get it. Zapatos prioritizing a strong touch and speed here out of the corner, which means he's not going to have the angle for the shot. Wavy maybe doing a bit of the same here as he misses wide. Zapatos wanted to let that bounce off the wall, and Wavy is doing a great job of just staying all over it. Zapatos got a bit greedy, I would maybe even argue. I think there's a world in which he could take that touch into the corner. It's not as good as maybe taking one out to the midfield like he wanted to. But the downside of doing that is it gave an opportunity for Wavy. Oh my goodness, I wanted that to work so bad. That was everything about Zapatos if it did. He had a great plank flick into his zap dash to try and catch back up to it, but he couldn't quite get the goal. But either way, it created a good possession that he held on to and eventually scored. So classic Zapatos, and you love to see him score in his classic fashion as he makes his first rank 1 ever. And this is not, you know, somebody stealing a rank 1 early in the season. I wonder if Zapatos has gotten one of those and maybe not even counted it. This is deep into the season, and this is a backflip to end the game, keep the ball grounded. Zapatos, he is your rank 1 1v1er in the world.